GTA 5 Online is a game known for crime, boosting cars, robbing banks, robbing casinos, selling illegal goods, etc. But if you decide to become a good citizen one day, there are many opportunities for you to make money legally in Los Santos. Also, for the sake of the video, I will be referring to California state law in some scenarios, as you will see later on, as San Andreas is based on California. We will go over all of the various legal ways to make money today. Thank you to my channel members, subscribe, leave a like, all that good YouTube stuff. And let's dive in. First off, we have delivering pizza. Delivering pizza, the good old starting point to making money legally in Los Santos. It's relatively inefficient, however, mainly because you are delivering the pies on a scooter and the route is not at all optimized, I've found. Sometimes you might have to go down south of the city and then back up north. It's not like the route is a straight line and you just follow it and you're good. You are on a bit of a time crunch though, as the longer you take, the colder the pizza will get, which will result in less tips from customers, so you need to be sure to get there efficiently, but without breaking any traffic laws. The pros are you can start today with no requirements, no businesses, no licenses, anything like that, none are needed. The cons are it doesn't pay much and it is hard to do without breaking the speed limit because once again, you need to be as quick as possible with the pies, but as long as you follow the traffic laws in San Andreas, your attorney Falls says everything is alright. Next up we have becoming a taxi driver. Los Santos is a dangerous place full of many criminals, so why not drive them around in a taxi? It's basically a slightly better version of delivering pizza. You're in a faster mode of transportation for starters, and the route is very cut and clear each time. You pick up the customer at point A and take them to point B, simple enough. There are also different vehicles you could use to taxi customers, although the performance doesn't matter too much because you are following the speed limit, correct? Just make sure the dash cam isn't working whenever you start your shift. You could also taxi indefinitely, which is nice. There is no need to take a break, although I'm sure there are state mandates for such a thing, but that is the duty of your employer to allocate for you, not for you to judge when it is time to take a break. Regardless, taxing customers is a tried and true way to make money legally in San Andreas, but there is not really a way to move up within the industry. This is it right here. Next up we have the arcade, but never do the casino heist. The arcade is known for being a front to plan to rob the Diamond Casino and Resort, but no one says you are forced to rob the casino. You very much so can just buy the arcade machines and operate the arcade as normal. The only real drawback here is once your daily intake caps out at 5,000, you can't really do anything else to get money from the arcade. It's a business that you buy while doing other legal ventures, not the main focus necessarily. Another slight drawback is the price of the machines to put in the arcade. These range from 100,000 to hundreds of thousands, so the return on investment will take a long time, but you could just buy the cheapest machines and fill the arcade with those, and you will get the same daily income as if you had the most expensive machines. Next up we have the hands-on car wash, Higgins Teletours, and smoke on the water businesses, but never do money laundering missions. Once again, an example of a business that can be operated legally and not used as a front for anything. The only real source of money to be made from this comes in the form of the daily income that is in your safe. Assuming you only have the 3 businesses I mentioned here along with a couple of other legal businesses, your daily income won't be much because it increases with every business you own. But not every business that the player can own is legal. Still, money is money and you can get some bonuses from doing the legitimate work like getting all smoke on the water orders correctly or delivering the customer's car from the car wash in pristine condition, and whatever bonus Higgins Teletours gives you. It's not a bad business, but you could definitely do better. Next up we have the Quickie farm deliveries. There's nothing like capitalism in the world of health. Delivering pharmaceutical goods in a fast car is the full embodiment of that very phenomenon. You can actually make very good money from this, about $7,500 per delivery, which is quite good. The routes, however, are pretty rough. You might have to go all the way to Paleto Bay, for example, and then back down to the city. It doesn't really matter though, considering how good it pays. You also don't need any existing businesses or anything at all really to start doing it, which is even better. This is probably where I'd start if I wanted to make money legally and then invest it in other businesses to make even more money. Next up we have Group Sex and Bobcat Transporting. There's nothing like getting paid to shoot people. That's essentially what you can expect for transporting for Bobcat Security and Group Sex. All jokes aside, it's actually really good money. About 18 grand for each delivery with no cooldown as far as I know. A minor con is that once you make the delivery, you have to drive back to the depot for another delivery, which means you kind of have to bounce back and forth between locations, but the money more than makes up for it. I will say one problem could be that one of the goods that you transport are counterfeit goods. Of course, you realistically wouldn't know you are transporting, you just listen to whatever the company says, and if they are authentic or counterfeit goods or not, a decent attorney would likely make quick work of that dilemma. Aside from that, this is a solid way to reliably make money. As for which is better, Bobcat or Group Sex, I honestly couldn't tell you. Next up we have gambling at the Diamond Casino, the good old surefire way to make money. Kind of. This is probably the most questionable way to legally make money, not because of the legality, but because of sheer luck. Out of all the games though, just like real life, funnily enough, I do not recommend the slot machines. If you're going to try your luck here, I'd recommend the tables. Roulette is okay, but blackjack is my favorite, but 3-card poker is also alright. I like blackjack because you could have a terrible hand and still have a decent shot of winning from the dealer going bust. It's also pretty simple to play, nothing too crazy. I also don't recommend the horse races, they're just too unpredictable and only return a good amount if you take a bigger risk. Overall, the diamond is the place you go when you exhausted all other options and are just trying to win big. Next up we have the auto shop, but never do any contracts. Just like the arcade, nobody said you have to do the illegal side of the business. You make money from the auto shop legally by customizing customer cars and delivering it to them for a nice payment. The nicer the car, the bigger the payment, but one constant remains. The fee to actually modify the cars is around $20,000, but that is reimbursed by the customer once you make the delivery. You can hire employees to deliver the cars for you, and depending on how much businesses you got going on, I'd actually recommend that, because although the cars will likely arrive to the customer damaged, you are saving precious time that you could be using for other legal ventures. Another problem is the cost to start the business. The cheapest auto shop equipped with 2 employees and an extra car lift will run you about $3 million. That's a lot of money, but you could just buy the base auto shop with no employees and only 1 car lift and work up from there. Overall, it's a decent option once you have the money for it, but be prepared to shell out a couple million. Next up, we have customizing customer motorcycles in the MC Clubhouse. Whenever somebody wants an unnecessarily loud exhaust that the whole neighborhood will grow to hate, you are there to accommodate that by customizing customer bikes in the clubhouse. Essentially, this is a more affordable alternative to the auto shop, but you can only customize 1 bike at a time here. Funnily enough, the profit margins are far better here than in the auto shop. That is because the service cost is usually only around $10,000 and the actual payment is around $50,000. In the auto shop, it's usually the other way around. You pay more to customize it, but you get less for actually delivering it. But this is far better. You do have to do the delivery by yourself. You cannot hire an employee to do it for you, but it's only 1 bike, so it shouldn't be a problem. This is a great place to start if you want a business, and it pays pretty good as well. Next up, we have the bail office. Not only are you taking care of criminals, you're making money with the bail office. Once you have the bail office all set up with employees, it can be a damn good way to make money legally. The problem is getting it all set up with employees. The cheapest bail office in the worst location with 2 employees will set you back about $3 million. Once again, that is quite a hefty price, but this does make pretty good money for being completely legal. I would only get this if you have conquered all other forms of legal work in GTA Online and you want this out of everything. The initial setup cost is just too much, and if you have $3 million to spend on a bail office, chances are you got the $3 million doing something better. Next up, we have the Nightclub. The Nightclub is a legal but relatively inefficient way to make money. I say that because you're only going to be making the daily income from the nightclub business itself. None of the cargo producing could be done because that's obviously illegal. The thing is, it's not that great because of many factors. For starters, the cheapest nightclub is $1 million, which is a decent amount of money, but not terrible. If your daily income is kept at $50,000, then that's not too bad. You'll break even real soon. But the problem is keeping it at the maximum popularity. These missions take long, and some of them are even illegal, which is not good at all. Which means that for some of the missions, you'll have to abandon them and hope you get a legal promotion mission. Once again, one of those businesses that I would only recommend if you have all other businesses in the game that are all legal, of course. Next up, we have the weed farm. The Bikers DLC introduced many illegal drug businesses, including at the time weed, which was illegal at the time in the state of California, which is of course what San Andreas is based on. It became legal as part of Prop 64, which took full effect on January 1st of 2018. So assuming we acquired a license to produce and sell the stuff, it's totally legal for us to do as of now. It's funny because when we do the sell missions, we discreetly drop the packages off in trash bags in weird locations, but it's totally unnecessary. It's like saying you got drugs in the car when you only have an inhaler. Shout out to my fellow peeps with asthma. I would also advise only buying supplies here because stealing supplies is obviously illegal. This might be the best way to make money legally, but it does require some prerequisites like the farm itself and the equipment upgrades to maximize profits. But once you have it all, the green will start coming. Get it? Because it's green, and green is also money. Alright. Next up, we have wildlife photography. You can make money taking pictures of animals, and for the work, it pays pretty good. You need to first find out where certain animals spawn. Some of them are exclusive to certain areas of the map, like pigs for example, which are only found at farms. It is a lot of work to run around the map, driving the speed limit of course, taking pictures of animals, but once again it does pay pretty decent. But maybe you got a soft spot for animals, maybe you already know where some of them spawn, then this is a totally viable way to make money legally. I believe it resets daily, so you will have to wait a day, but the pay makes it worth it once again. For each animal photographed, you get $20,000, and for completing the full daily list, you get a bonus $40,000, totaling $100,000, which actually isn't bad at all. Once you learn where all the animals usually spawn, it makes it much easier as well. I would also recommend some sort of off-road vehicle, as most of these animals are found off the beaten path, so there's more overhead for you. Next up, we have racing. Assuming you are on a closed track. Racing on a closed course is absolutely legal. Even the money part of the thing is legal because racing for prizes is once again completely legal. If you're doing it by yourself, however, it will take a while to make any sort of cash, but it's a decent starting out point that doesn't require much, as you can use one of the provided race cars for any race. You can also do the races by yourself, but one, that's kind of sad, and two, you don't get much money from racing solo. But money is money, and if you want to become a famous race car driver, you can do it here. Next up, we have the Junk Energy Bicycle Time Trial. Time trials are some of the easiest ways to make money. Well, some of them. Nothing is wrong with bicycling as fast as you can from point A to point B, and that's all this is. The bike trial is good because you don't need any fast vehicle or anything. They give you the bike, it's just up to you to beat the part time, which is usually pretty doable. Just make sure you're stopping at red lights and all that jazz if you're in the city. Some of the trials take place on dirt paths though, so you'll have an easier time with those. Next up, we have the Junk Energy Parachute Jumping. It's not much, but if you want to, you could do parachute jumps. Now, there are parachute jobs and the Junk Energy Parachute Trials. The trials can be accessed whilst in a session, while the jobs are a separate lobby, so I would recommend the Junk Energy Parachute Trials. You don't make much money from either, so I would only do this while starting out, or if you're just bored of other legal forms of employment and you want some adrenaline. Next up, we have the RC Time Trials. You can do RC time trials as well, but it cannot be on the street and it has to be on the sidewalk instead. It's perfectly legal to use an RC car in public as long as it is not a public nuisance and you're not harassing people. It also cannot be on a restricted road or area such as the quarry or any government building, construction buildings, anything like that. There are many trials that take place on the sidewalk in public though, so it is fine to do those. Although you will have to wait for a particular trial as they change every day, but when a trial is here and legal, you can do it every day for $50,000, which is completely legal and fine to do. The RC Bandito itself will set you back about 1.6 million though before mods, which is a hefty amount. Even more so is the fact that you must own an arena workshop to buy one, which at the base price of $1 million will set you back even more. Once you get all the extensive setup situated though, you can start making $50,000 every day for about 2 minutes of work, which is not bad at all. Next up, we have the Arena War. If you manage to get a lobby with other people in it, the Arena War is a totally viable option. The biggest problem is, of course, getting a lobby with a single soul inside of it. Usually people only play Arena War modes when it's double or triple money. Even then, you only get a decent amount of money if you're in the top 3 for the game. Having an Arena War car that is customized, of course, helps, but I would not recommend that in the slightest because it's so much money that not even I have made back after all these years. Basically, this thing is a bigger money pit than a 10-year-old Range Rover, so I wouldn't go anywhere near it. Next up, we have the San Andreas Flight School. There is money to be made by flying planes. I believe you get a bonus for just completing all the lessons with a bronze medal the first time you do it. You don't even need gold or anything. You can get money by just doing the lessons, but it's not much. Another one of those methods that I would only recommend if you are just starting out making money legally or are just bored and you want something a bit more exhilarating. Next up, we have the ULP Operations. Hear me out. Government agencies like the FBI and the CIA have the ability to break the law and have done it in the past and are probably doing it as we are speaking if it concerns the American public, in which of course this operation does. The only questionable legality one would have about this is the fact that we are essentially freelancers to the IAA. This is waived off though, as we are sworn in as IAA agents and then we carry on with the operation. So in the eyes of the law, we are a part of the IAA officially, so it would be completely legal for us to do all of the missions that Agent ULP gives us. These missions pay out quite well for a legal venture and are pretty easy to do. Besides the one where you go inside the bunker with all the Clifford juggernauts or whatever, that one's pretty hard. This line of missions also has a career progress with it, so if you want even more money, you could do those for a cash bonus of like $150,000. Overall, a great way to make money no matter if you're just starting out or have been by the books for a while. And that's just about every way to legally make money, but there are some honorable mentions for various reasons. Either they are questionable legality or are just kind of weird, so let's go over those. First off, we have some VIP work missions like haulage, in which you transport a trailer from point A to point B, which is totally legal, and executive search, where you hide from players for 10 minutes. Let's talk about executive search first. It's legal, but just kind of weirdly so, because other players are trying to kill you and you are trying to hide, and in theory, hiding from somebody who's trying to kill you is obviously legal. I just thought it would be weird to add because it's kind of criminal related in a way, so I left it off. The same goes with haulage. We are transporting a trailer, but we don't know what's inside of it, and players can also kill you and destroy the trailer. Most VIP works are tied to criminal activities in one way or another, so I left them off entirely. Next up, we have the Doomsday Heist. It's similar to the ULP missions in which we work for the government, but this one is completely off the books and we are not in any way sworn in as an agent for any government agency. Receiving payment for helping government business just sounds illegal, and although I'm sure it happens in real life, funnily enough, it's probably happening right now, it absolutely absolutely should not be happening, and it is illegal. There are also a lot of contact missions that in theory are legal and have a case, but I left them off because I didn't want to go down that road and have to explain every single contact mission, so I didn't mention them. Now you know just about every way to legally make money in Los Santos. Hopefully this video taught you well, and make sure to do all good citizen duties like filing your taxes and subscribing to my channel as well, and leaving a like. We are nearing 40,000 subscribers and counting, which is just awesome, and I really appreciate you guys, man. And thank you to my channel members, which are Agent, PAARTHUR, Joshua, Agaro, Nekoshi, DuelingDiego, Karso, KOIAER, Anawack, and Byron. I greatly appreciate all my channel members. I appreciate you all. Thank you so much for watching. Please have a good day or night or evening. I'll see you all later. Love you all, and goodbye. Hey, look, hey, look. You better subscribe, because if you do not, I might cry. You better subscribe, I ran up the bands in GTA 5. You better subscribe, because if you do not, you might cry. You better subscribe, because if you don't, I might die. You better subscribe, I'm about to go crazy on the beat. You better subscribe, hey, wait for the beat to drop. Ooh, you better subscribe, hey, you better subscribe, I'm out of breath. You better subscribe,